Well, everyone, it's the last week of October, so we're down in the Florida Panhandle looking for the Florida Trail. The Florida Trail is a 1,300 long trail within the state of Florida. It starts at the Gulf Islands National Seashore at Fort Pickens. The first wildlife we saw on the trail actually was a monarch butterfly. The Appalachian Trail is marked by white blazes. The Florida Trail is marked by these blazes. The biggest climb on the trail itself today was this footbridge. The start of the trail is actually at Fort Pickens. It's a very interesting U.S. fort, so we're going to explore it. The Fort Pickens was built in 1834, and they used slaves as the labor to lay the bricks. Outside the fort, they built several gun batteries. This is Battery Worth. Let's go see what it looks like. Well, what you always have to check out at the very beginning is the guardhouse. Let's see if there's any guards in here. Unless you consider wasps being guards, it was empty. Hey look, it's a root-free trail all the way to Fort Pickens. I bet we can make great time on this trail. The real first action at the fort was actually during the Civil War, and believe it or not, it was held by the Union the entire time. First thing you notice is the brickwork, and to think it's almost 200 years old. And actually this is a fort built within a fort, so once you would get over the outer walls, then you had to get through the soldiers on the inside. The interior of the inside fort is just honeycombed with all these walkways. I can just imagine soldiers running down them with muskets in their hands. Now these hallways, you can walk down these. I can just imagine the shells exploding. Walking in here, turn the corner. Who's there? Oh,
It's
there you
dead
are.
end. Dead end.
That is in. Uh-oh. How about these here? Ooh, that's a long way down there.
Ready?
Oh, there she is. On the interior of the fort, there are actually two sizes of guns. This is the large one here, and it took several men to operate. And it also was a much more maneuverable cannon, and it looked like this. When I walk through old forts like this, I just think about what it must have smelled like with all the gunpowder, cannons, and all the noise. Wait a minute, it looks like there's a Union soldier going up the steps. We'll have to see. After the Civil War, this was used as an Apache prisoner of war camp, and actually one of its most notable prisoners was Geronimo. After several years at the fort, all the Apache warriors were actually moved to Oklahoma. The largest cannons were actually massive smooth bores that could fire 5 or 6 miles out into the ocean. And not only did we see one reenactment soldier, we saw two. These are actually AmeriCorps volunteers, and since it was the Union here at the fort, this is what the Union soldier would be wearing. And what was the weapon of choice? But an 1861 Springfield. It was really great to handle the gun.
Look. Handle, cartridge. Tear, cartridge. Charge, cartridge. Draw, rammer. Ram, cartridge. Return, rammer. Prime. Ready. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll be your turn. Cover your ear. Aim. Fire. Recover, arm. Shoulder, arm. Load at will and come to the ready.
After the firearm demonstration, it was time to walk towards the beach and see what else was in the fort. It was required to reload these guns every 30 seconds, and as you can see, it took a very large crew to do it, but once they were done, it was time to relax. Well, it's time to get back to the campground, so let's walk the 2 miles back along the beach. As you can see, it's pretty rough today because of the tail end of a storm, but it's great walking on the beach when you're all by yourself. And I just love to see how the shorebirds run up and down the beach, trying not to get their feet wet. Well, we did see a few people fishing, but no fish. But lo and behold, look at this. There's a crane with a fish in its mouth. Well, off it goes to eat its dinner, and it's about time that we go to camp and do the same thing. Well, after hiking about 4 miles of the Florida Trail, we decided we'd leave the other 1,296 miles for some other time. As Horace Greeley said, head west, young man. So that's what the Facklers are going to do. Now we're heading to New Mexico.